What is the role of the @model attribute annotation? The @model attribute annotation in Spring MVC binds form data to a model object, making it available to the controller. It helps in filling forms with existing data and handling form submissions. We can also use it on methods to add data to the model, making it available to different controller methods. This makes data handling easier and keeps our controller code clean. Can you describe form validation in Spring MVC? Form validation in Spring MVC uses @valid on a model attribute, model object to apply rules like at the rate of null, at the rate of not null, at the rate of size, and at the rate of email. When a form is submitted, the controller method includes the model object and a binding result to check for errors. If there are errors, the method returns the form view with error messages, ensuring the data is correct and giving feedback to the user. What is View Resolver in Spring MVC and how does it work? In Spring MVC, a view resolver maps view names from controllers to actual view files like JSP or HTML. It takes the view name returned by a controller, adds a prefix and suffix to create the full path to the file, and then renders the view. This helps separate the view from the controller logic, making the code cleaner and easier to manage. Can you list different types of view resolvers used in Spring MVC? In Spring MVC, various types of view resolvers are used to handle different technologies. Common ones include internal resource view resolver for JSP views, theme leaf view resolver for theme leaf templates, FreeMaker view resolver for FreeMaker templates, XML view resolver for XML based views, bean name view resolver for resolves views based on the bean names, mapping JSON to JSON view from JSON views, mapping JSON to XML view for XML views. These resolves help in rendering appropriate view types. How does the internal resource view resolver function? The internal resource view resolver in Spring MVC helps in finding JSP files for views. It adds a prefix and suffix to the view name from the controller to create the full path to the JSP file. For example, if the prefix is WebINF views and suffix is .jsp, the view name home becomes WebINF views home.jsp. This makes it easy to manage and find view files. What are the advantages of using content negotiating view resolver? The content negotiating view resolver in Spring MVC has several benefits. It lets our app supports different view types like JSON, XML, and HTML based on what the client requests. It automatically chooses the right view by looking at the request content type. This makes configuration easier because it works with other view resolvers, allowing our app to handle different responses, format flexibility, and meet various client needs. How are interceptors used in Spring MVC? In Spring MVC, interceptors are used to run code before and after a request is handled by a controller. They implemented the handler interceptor interface. The main methods are pre-handle, runs before the controller method. Post-handle, it runs after the controller method but before the view is shown. And after completion, run after the view is shown. Intercepts are useful for tasks like logging, authentication, and modifying requests or responses. What are the methods in handler interceptors interface? The handler interceptor interface in Spring MVC has three main methods, that is pre-handle, post-handle, and after completion. In pre-handle, it called before the controller method execution. It returns true to continue processing or false to stop. Post-handle called after the controller method execution but before the view is rendered. It allows for modifying the model and view. After completion method called after the view is rendered. It is used for cleanup activities These methods help us to manage request processing. How can you configure an interceptor to be applied globally? To apply an interceptor globally in our application, create a configuration class and implement WebMVC configurer. In this class, it overrides the add interceptors method and add our interceptors. This will make sure the interceptor is applied to all the HTTP requests in the application. For example, in a Spring Boot app, use @configuration and add our interceptors in the overridden add interceptors method.